Hello everyone online. Welcome to our Essential Oils for Dogs class. I'm Amy Glenn and we have Rakell-Lee Laventure here to teach our class. And you have years and years of experience working directly with dogs and certifications. Maybe you can kind of fill everybody in on a little bit of that because you'll probably do a better job of explaining it than I can. But I'll just tell you that we consider her our in-house dog whisperer. She is incredible and she has a very unique and wonderful connection with dogs in particular, and it's so wonderful to learn from you every time you teach. I learn so much from you.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, so we're excited to have you here. And for those of you online, if you want to just chat in the chat box, if you have any questions, I'll try to include those as you're teaching.
Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
So I'm Rakell, last name's Laventure. I own Adventure, or Explorer Pet Care and Rocky Enterprises. I've been in the pet care world for approximately 8.5 years. I've always had a dog, and this is my little co-star Coco. Pretty awesome guy, aren't you? And so I walk dogs essentially, and I also do home boarding. So a lot of the oils that I integrate into my home boarding and into my dog walking business are all oils that I'm going to talk about today. These are the ones that I have found have been the most influential over the last year. Of course, my course is probably going to change next year because we've got convention coming up in a couple of weeks, and there's going to be some new stuff that comes out. I'm going to figure out how it works for animals as well as humans. So that's kind of the background that I have. I used to teach pet first aid with walks and wags. I taught pet first aid for about 3.5 years. I'm not a trainer, I'm not a vet. I work very closely with several vets. I work very closely with a couple of holistic vets here in Calgary. And then I work with some vets who just want to learn more about a different type of care other than going with the Western medicine type. What else do you want to know about me? I live in Airdries, but most of my business is actually done out of Calgary. It's all done out of Northwest Calgary. I'm not well known. I don't do any kind of advertising. I strictly stick to word of mouth, and that's how I like to roll. And everybody knows me as kind of the oily dog lady. It's you smell so good. Oh, my dog smells good. Yes, he's wearing oils too. He's been licking me. It's been good. So Coco today is going to be our prize pig, and he's going to get to try out all these oils, and I'm going to show you how to use them, and specifically what they can do for dogs of different sizes. So as you can see here, we've got oils that are in 15 ml bottles, 5 ml bottles, and in these fancy little rollers. The rollers are fantastic because they actually they're actually pre-diluted, so you don't have to dilute them any further for your pet care. You can literally either put it on your hands or put it directly on the dog, and it's not going to have any kind of negative effect. And it doesn't matter what size. So we're going to start with lavender. So the lavender comes in both the 15 milliliter, and it also comes in the roller. Lavender is the Swiss Army knife, so I actually keep this in my car with me at all times. It can be used for dang near everything, which is awesome. So today I actually used it on Coco because he got a foxtail in his foot, and I was able to actually draw that foxtail out of his foot with lavender oil, which was pretty cool. And I was able to draw the foxtail on my own foot. That was awesome. So if you're not sure of the uses, it's pretty universal. So you can use it on cuts, scrapes, burns, bug bites, bugs. It's a repellent. It's kind of your jack of all trades. It's really, really good for skin conditions, ringworm, fungal conditions, and muscular concerns. It's also super calming, which makes my crazy little dog, who I have no idea where he went, a lot calmer than what he normally is. It's also really good for high blood pressure. So I don't have high blood pressure, but sometimes I have high blood pressure. So I like to use this in the car every once in a while just to keep me on the down low. The other beautiful thing about this is that it's really, really good for dogs that may have asthma. Small dogs like Coco who have collapsing trachea, you can pop this into a water diffuser, like 3 to 4 drops into a water diffuser in whatever room they're in, and it'll actually help soothe that collapsing trachea and prevent any further damage. I found that one to be the most incredible information this week. Woohoo! It's also really good for upper respiratory conditions, infections, and sinus irritations. So any kind of kennel cough, colds, doggy influenza, all of that kind of stuff, your go-to oil is probably going to be lavender. So I'm going to pass it around. It does smell different from other lavenders. It is, it's harvested from Bulgaria instead of France. It's kind of lovely and beautiful. Similar to I like. Did you have a question?
No. I love lavender.
And typically with dogs, if I'm using it for calming, I'll put 2 drops into my hands, and I'll actually just rub their ears.
Their ears.
Yes, I'll rub their ears. It's like the best place on a dog for essential oils.
It's
There's a lot of blood vessels in here.
And there's less fur.
Exactly.
Coco, where did you
Well, there goes that water. Oh, my mom case.
I'm really sorry.
So my next oil that I have on the list is called Copaiba. Has anybody ever heard of CBD oil?
Yes.
Have you had people refer you for CBD oil for dogs? And everybody's like, oh my goodness, just go with CBD oil. It's your cure-all. It's not. It's lovely, but it's really not. Yeah, okay, probably better. So what Copaiba does is Copaiba works on your CD1 and CD2 receptors. It the main constituent of it is beta-caryophyllene. I'm pretty sure I pronounced that correctly.
Good job.
And what it does is the CD1 receptor is your kind of I don't care center of your brain, and then your CD2 receptor is your pain receptor. So first off, if it works on the CD1 receptor, you're not really too concerned about pain. And then number 2, if it's working on the pain, then you don't really have to worry about the fact that it's working on the CD1 receptor. Does that make sense? Or am I totally confusing you? Okay, it's all smiles, but it's nodding. So this is harvested from Brazil. It is the highest anti-inflammatory oil, and it's synergistic. So this can replace non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs in animals. So you can take away your medication. You can take away your gabapentin. Those are the only 2 that I know. But those are the 2 that are handed out the most. Those are also the 2 that are going to do the most damage to liver and kidneys, and it's also going to cause brain damage at some point in time with those 2 heavy drugs. So Copaiba is fabulous for dang near everything. It is good for arthritis, it's good for pain, it's good for inflammation. What are you doing, puppy dog? Don't you dare, go sit down. It's really good for gastrointestinal, which I didn't know until last week.
So my dog every once in a while her stomach gets really upset, and she does this weird herpy thing where she scrunches up her back and walks like this. Like it's really weird and freaking out. And she shakes and so When she does that, we give her the copaiba mix that I make. We give her a full dropper full, and we have to hold her and force it in her mouth because she doesn't like that much. But within 10 seconds, she's completely fine and back to herself.
Isn't that impressive?
10 seconds.
10 seconds, yeah, absolutely. I've given it to him a couple times when he's doing this.
Yeah.
And yeah, he'll usually.
But yeah, it takes the pain away immediately, topically or internally. It's really, really
If I
cool.
put it on your nose, you're gonna lick your nose, and that's pretty awesome.
So I got it on my day,
But you know what? There you go, guys. There you go. In female dogs, it will help with urinary incontinence. I did not know that. So that was kind of impressive. I was actually able to help a future client with her dog who has urinary incontinence because of learning that copaiba is so freaking fantastic.
Is that when they take it internally that it helps with that? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can also rub it right over their belly for it too, which is kind of cool. So copaiba appears to magnify the effects of other essential oils. So using copaiba with any other essential oil is going to magnify whatever effect it is that you're looking for. It's also has considerable contribution to healing and just in general the effects of using copaiba are just
He knows you have more.
fabulous.
He knows you have more.
I know. It's his favorite. I forgot to bring treats this time, and then I forgot his container of blueberries. So my bad on that. Copaiba taken internally for pain is a 1-to-3 ratio for therapeutic effects, and water diffusion and topically on the skin is gentle enough to do it without dilution, but I still do a 1-to-3 dilution of oil and copaiba. I really like coriander. It's
Never
kind of
used that one on before.
You haven't used that one on dogs? Oh yes. So it's super new. So this one is actually one that's mentioned for cats.
Okay.
But it's for diabetes.
Okay.
And it has just beautiful. It's my favorite. It's also really good for the pain relief. So coriander is from the seed of the cilantro plant. Its main use with dogs. Its main use for dogs is diabetes, blood sugar control, and metabolic conditions. It's also used for pancreatitis, increasing pancreas function, and for pain management. So those are your main parts for coriander, and it is really, really good for diarrhea, vomiting, and gas pain in dogs. And you can put it directly onto their belly at a 1-to-3 ratio. So when I say 1-to-3 ratio, 1 drop of oil, of essential oil to 3 drops of carrier oil. So my one boyfriend is Coco and my other boyfriend's Frank. Frank is like my boyfriend, my best friend. He's from Somalia. He's got 4 different personalities. He's pretty awesome. So frankincense is from Somalia. It's actually harvested from the 4 different frankincense types of trees with doTERRA. Very different from other companies that harvest frankincense oil, as they only harvest the 1 tree type. With the 4 types of trees, you have all 4. You have all of the benefits from all 4 types instead of the benefits from just the 1 type of tree. So this one is it's called the king of oils, and it's called the king of oils because it kind of does everything. When in doubt, use frankincense or lavender. Either or. You're pretty okay. So it's super safe to use neat, which means that you don't need to dilute it with anything. It's very, very versatile. It's very effective, and it's the life force oil. and it's been used extensively in critical cases. So cases of cancer in animals, then we like to use frankincense. It's been known to help with all types of cancers. It is also for tumors, cysts, behavioral issues, depression, brain disorders, seizures, immune system stimulation and regulation. It is also known to be the oil to use when your pet is crossing the rainbow bridge. Because not only is it going to calm yourself, but it's also going to calm your animal. And it's going to be a much more peaceful transition. So transition period, and then for you, when you leave the vet office and you're a blubbering mess, because I know that I am, I usually cover myself. It's my go-to oil. Keep a big old bottle of this in my car too. It's very, very similar to copaiba in the fact that it is very synergistic. So anything that you put it in with, it's going to magnify, and it's just going to magnify the effects of those oils, which is super awesome. It's a very unique smell. I really like it.
This next has to get used.
It kind of burns the muffles in your nose a little bit when you smell it.
But I really like the coriander.
You really like the witch?
The coriander.
Yeah,
Isn't the coriander lovely? It sounds
I've seen color.
oh, it's really good. Beautiful. Beautiful stuff. All right, so this one is kind of my heart child lately. I currently have a client who is having some issues. She's a raw feeder, which is good. But mom hasn't quite figured out the whole raw feeding thing yet. And she's got severe constipation. So helichrysum to the rescue today, because I couldn't think of anything else that was gonna help. So helichrysum is very, very unique. It's called Immortelle or Everlasting. It is like one of the most miraculous oils. I believe it was even in the Bible, but it was called Everlasting. But I might be totally wrong.
Is it a bark or a?
It's a flower.
It's a yellow flower.
Yeah, it's a little yellow flower.
It kind of looks like an itty bitty daisy, like itty bitty. Yeah. Most people say it smells like honey. I think it smells like rye whiskey. I don't really know. It's
too extreme.
oh yeah, it smells like rye whiskey. So it has a grad status. So it has the status where it is safe for use for pretty much anybody, and it has and it's safe to use neat. But I always recommend that you dilute this one because it is quite potent. So back to my client. She has this little Pomeranian who's 3 pounds, and she's got some issues. So I rubbed 1 drop of helichrysum onto her belly today because I didn't know what else to do, and it was a miracle. It was like a Christmas miracle. It was awesome. So I was pretty excited about that. So the interesting thing about this oil is that it has a homeostasis to it, so it's able to regulate the body whichever way it's meant to go. It's the only oil that can do it. So it can be indicated for blood clots, but as an anticoagulant, but it can also stop bleeding. How it does that?
But it's great if you clip their toenails a little too short.
Oh, if you hit their quick?
Yeah, they just like little cornstarch and helichrysum together and just put that on there.
Great for healing the skin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it stops it pretty quick. And if you put more than 1 drop on, they get a little loopy, and then they're.
Everybody gets loopy at your house.
I experiment on my dog sometimes.
Okay. Let's try it. I love that you experiment on dogs because I do too. I'm like, let's try this.
Right.
Let's just see if this works. So it can be an anticoagulant, but it can also be used for bleeding and bruising. nerve regeneration, neurological issues, hearing impairment for dogs. Haven't figured out how that one works yet.
Maybe behind the ear?
Yeah, I was thinking behind the ear.
Or maybe the tip, because you can't rub it down in the ear.
Just around, like circle around,
Yeah.
kind of like we do.
But depending on how fuzzy your dog is, right?
Yeah, that's probably hard.
Challenging.
Mine's very fluffy.
Oh.
She's a
Maybe just
Pomeranian.
I can't wait to meet her.
I have brought her, but she wouldn't have behaved. So.
Oh, wow.
That's true.
Oh, see, Coco's gonna pass out here. He's cool, pipe up.
Yeah,
Oh,
he is.
Oh, yeah, we're done.
Oh.
Oh, dear.
That's so
Oh, boy. So hearing impairment, circulatory, blood vessel problems, blood clots. This one is really interesting. So chelation of chemicals, toxic exposure, and vaccination detoxification.
Okay.
So people who think that they're vaccinators and then they decide, yeah, I'm an anti-vaxxer and want to detox their animal, or they've been over-vaccinated, you can actually use helichrysum at a 1:3 ratio,
And
or
just
1
rub
to
it on.
6, and rub it right on.
Yeah, because mine just got hers, and she actually got sick. She had 3, and so I was doing the Copaiba Frank lavender thing on her a lot to try and draw because she needs to have it. It's important, but to try and calm it in her system, and that would have been good to know. So I'll know that for next year.
So right on the injection site?
No,
Or-
I just do
Just
it on there.
yeah, just right on the
Tummy
tummy.
is like the only place I can get to on her. Where there's not as much.
Armpits.
She's very hairy. She's a Pomeranian. She's a giant ball
She's
of
a
fluff.
She's like, boo. Diffusing helichrysum, if a dog or a cat has been hit by a vehicle, you can diffuse helichrysum, and it will actually stop the internal bleeding until you can get
Just
to that
diffusing it.
point. Just diffusing. Isn't that cool? That's wild. So, and then to reduce inflammation, and you want to increase healing and increase oxygenation, you put this in with Copaiba, frankincense, and cedarwood. And wham bam, Bob's your uncle. That's a good thing.
It's a lot of trees right there.
Yeah, so super awesome.
It doesn't smell.
So that's helichrysum. There's so much more to helichrysum. The 4 books that I was reading, all of the information on helichrysum, like the sections were like, it was like 16 to 17 pages. It's crazy. When I was looking at it, I was like, holy smokes, this is overwhelming. But I thought that those points were kind of the most important, and I really felt that the homeostasis of being able to bring that body back into equilibrium with this oil was really important.
Okay, I just one question. So if you're diffusing helichrysum with a small, like 3-pound dog, so in a diffuser like the one that's behind you.
Yep.
Just how many drops in that?
Like
Sorry, the one drop in that
Yeah.
diffuser.
Yeah, they said 50-pound dog, you would put 4 drops in. So somebody his size,
He's
he's done.
he's not very nice to be done.
That's some good Copaiba people. Anybody who says go with the CBD oil, they got nothing on Copaiba. All right, so the next one I picked is actually one of our top 10 oils, and it's lemon. And lemon is kind of fun because it, with animals, it has this anti-tumoral factor to it. So I've been making this rub stuff for Coco. If you notice, he's got a great big lumpy goiter thing on his neck. And I've got it down to about half the size. That's awesome. So I'm using kind of a combination of a lot of things. We've got a little helichrysum, we've got a little frank, we got a little, what else have we got? We got some lemon in there, we got some Copaiba in there, and we've got some breathe in there. Doesn't smell super fantastic, but it works like a charm. So lemon is harvested in Italy. I believe it takes 43 lemons to make 1 15-milliliter bottle of lemon oil. The lemon oil comes from the rind, not the fruit, so it won't wreck your teeth and it won't wreck your dog's teeth. You can actually use it to brush their teeth. It's quite lovely. You just mix it with a little bit of baking baking soda and a little bit of FCO, which is fractionated coconut oil. So it's liquefied coconut oil. Pop it into a little container and brush away. It's not going to hurt them. In fact, it's going to stimulate their immune system and detoxify as your food. I also like to put it in my dog's water in the back of the truck after a run, especially with the weather that we had today. It helps with bringing up the electrolyte balance and helps with their energy levels. It's also antibacterial, so it can clean the air, so my truck kind of stinks. So I have a diffuser in my truck, and lemon oil is sometimes the oil of choice in there. Not today, because I can't figure out where my diffuser is. It's also really good for urinary tract infections, hypertension, digestive issues, and anxiety. So it's a really nice one for me to diffuse in my truck when I'm driving and I've got 6 or 7 dogs in the back of the truck. I find they start to chill out after a few minutes of diffusing that one. And I usually like to mix lemon with Balance, which you can always pull out a bottle of Balance for you ladies who haven't smelled it out afterwards. So lemongrass is my friend. It's a hot oil, so you don't want to be using this one meat on your animals. I use this one for the purpose of mostly bugs, because I don't like bugs. I'm not a bug person. So it's a really good bug deterrent, and ticks and lice don't like it. Lice is pretty heavy in Calgary right now for some reason. I don't understand why, because it's a winter bug, not a summer bug. But maybe we haven't had enough summer. I think it's winter. So lemongrass is also really, really good for ACL injuries. So on a dog, it's a CCL injury, and it's good for aftercare, after surgical care, and prior to surgical care, because it's going to regenerate muscle tissue and ligament tissue. So it's a really important oil. It's specifically used for bladder infections in dogs. Cocoa bananas. Respiratory. Thank you. Come here. Come on. Right there. Sit down. So I just have to go upstairs. Give me 5. Thank you. Sit down. Sit. Sit. How about now? That's why I love them. Okay. Back to lemongrass. It's also really good for MRSA. So hospitals have a lot of MRSA, so do vet offices. So it's really, really good for detoxifying and cleaning and getting rid of that MRSA virus. Dogs can carry MRSA just as easily as humans. What else? It's also really good for fluid retention and edema, and dogs who have digestive issues, so diarrhea, vomiting. I don't know if it works for constipation. I'll let you know next week.
And on that note, it also is really good in Thai cooking.
It's really good at what?
Thai cooking. That lemongrass in my cooking. I can use it too.
So a funny story about that. I had another class on Saturday, and my girlfriend's, she's already using doTERRA, but she wanted to know some more. And she was like, yeah, we use the lemongrass in the Thai containers. The Thai food came in, and within about 4 minutes, I think we put too much in because the containers melted. I was like, it's a really hot oil. It's really hot. She was like, yeah.
So I have a friend who's recovering from cancer, and she has a blood clot behind her knee, and she just tripped and hurt her ACL. Would this work for her?
It'll work for the pain. Yeah, and I would dilute it. I would still, if for a human, I would still do like a 1 to 3, 1 to 5 ratio. Okay. In a 10 ml bottle, I would probably only put 10 to 15 drops of lemongrass, and then fill the rest of it with FCO, or mix it with some copaiba, because cruciate injuries are really sucky.
And she can also take it internally for pain management with copaiba.
Yeah, you could make the morphine bomb.
Yeah.
That's fine.
It does turn your skin a little bit yellowy orange.
It
Just,
can, yeah.
yeah, just as a warning.
It also does. for
Just
dogs.
temporarily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It also does it for the puppy dogs. Yeah, I do a 1 to 10 ratio for dogs on this. I would probably do at least a 1 to 10 ratio for humans. It's a
Literally.
like
Yes.
No, you get a chemical burn from it.
Yeah.
You need to dilute it.
it's major dilution on that one. But it kills pain like nobody's business.
Because you don't feel it anymore.
Well, if you take the copilot with it, absolutely. So there's lots of hullabaloo about tea tree oil and dogs, and oh God, don't use tea tree oil with dogs. But you know what? I use tea tree oil with my dogs every day. Because I clean my truck with tea tree oil. I clean my house with tea tree oil. I use it for the prevention of lice with my dogs. I also mix it in with the Terra Shield, which is the outdoor one, which we'll discuss. And tea tree oil is kind of one of those oils, as long as you've got a high quality tea tree, such as doTERRA, you can't really go too wrong. Heavy dilution is definitely necessary. You don't want to be just like giving dogs this by itself, because it can be used neat with humans, but I probably wouldn't recommend it for dogs. It is an antibacterial, antifungal, antiviral, antiparasitic, anti-inflammatory. So mixing it with copaiba, you've got your anti-inflammatory. I'm hearing a lot of stuff about inflammation in animals, and this was kind of where my brainchild went with this one. It's also really good for improving gum health and any kind of inflammation of the mouth after dental surgery with dogs. It can't be used with cats; it'll kill the poor felines. Don't use it with kittens. But dogs, it's okay. It's really good to reduce histamine allergic reactions. It kills lice. It inhibits, it's not sarcastic. Mine says sarcoptic. Sorry, spelling error. Didn't even notice that until now. Reduces warts and has a positive effect against bacterial strains of MRSA. So once again, that whole MRSA thing with animals, this will help take care of it. The one thing that I really like about it is that it does help with the killing of lice. I really like that I can mix it with myrrh and lemon and make a toothpaste out of it for my dogs and have a healthy reaction. And I know that it's going to help boost his immune system by cleaning my floors with it. I board dogs, so between boarding clients that have pickled all over my floors, I'm usually washing with hot water and tea tree oil.
My mom has a Chihuahua that was very prone to ear infections for like a year. No, I just put it on the tip of her ear.
Really?
Really diluted with like what you do for the babies, right? With the lavender and the basil. And when she would start poking at her ear, we do it a couple times a day for like 4 days, and it would clear it up every time.
That's awesome. Basil, right?
Yeah, basil, lavender, and tea tree. Because the basil stops the pain, the lavender stops the inflammation, and the tea tree kills the infection.
Well, we should post that book. We should. Because that's good.
Right, Rakell, do you have a specific ratio that you recommend for tea tree? Like I've read 1 to 10.
Like 1 in 10. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was really diluted because she just the Chihuahua.
I would even do like a 1% in a 10 ml bottle would be what, like 10 drops in the 10 ml bottle?
10 ml. Yeah, about 10 drops.
So in a roll, if you're gonna do it in a roller bottle, you literally just put 10 drops into a roller bottle of the tea tree, and then do the rest in SCO.
And they actually say you can use it for cats if it's properly diluted. So it's 0.1 up to 1% dilution.
So it'd be like 1 to 2 drops in a 10 ml.
I would do less, way less for cats. But
Or if you were doing a spray bottle, I would do like 2 drops of the tea tree oil in like a 30 to 60 ml bottle. It's okay to diffuse around cats though. So
It's more of it's like a topical thing, like if they lick it, they don't wanna, they shouldn't be taking it internally. But if they do,
Because they
it's
don't have
properly
the
diluted.
enzyme that breaks it down.
Right,
That's what it-
exactly.
It's like dogs
Yeah.
with chocolate, they don't have the enzyme that breaks the chocolate down, so they can die, and so.
Yeah, same.
And I think it's
Yeah.
very similar to the citrus oils with cats too, as with the tea tree oil. I don't know enough about cats because they scare me.
But the funny thing is, I mean, you know, I wear a ton of oils all the time, and whenever I'm around a friend's cats, they won't leave me alone, and they're always trying to lick wherever I put the oils.
Like your catnip.
Yeah, and I'm like, would you go away a little bit? Like, I don't want you to get hurt. Stop
Yeah,
licking me.
I wonder if they come out with catnip this year. I'm going to be really impressed because dogs do marvelously on catnip.
Oh.
Yes, so that would be a cool oil to put. But that's not what the doctor said today in his post. So yeah, so my main use with tea tree is to clean my floors and to clean my truck, especially if I've had a dog who's had diarrhea or has vomited in my truck. I'm usually all over the place. So last time I did this class 2 years ago, I had my Nishala with me, and he was in love with Myrrh. Him and Myrrh were best friends, and it was awesome. And I love Myrrh also. Myrrh's my friend. It has a pretty unique smell. I think it smells like whiskey, but maybe that's me. Everything smells like whiskey today. So, it's my calling. I know. Hanging out with my dad. So Myrrh is really good with diabetes for diabetes. It can change the way that your blood sugar ratio is. It can change the way your body processes sugars. And when I say yours, I mean your dog's. It's also really amazing for cancer and fungal infections, tooth and gum infections, and it's really, really good as a pain reliever. Coco had dental surgery last year at Christmas time, and the only thing that we used was because it just seemed like it was calling me, so that was what we used. But he was able to come off of his pain medications really fast, and he was able to get nice and healed up. It's also, Myrrh is really synergistic with copaiba and calichrysum. And it's really good for post-surgical sites. So CCL injuries, ACL injuries, anything post-surgical, stitches. You don't put it directly on the post-surgical site, but you actually go right around the post-surgical site. And you can do that right up until stitches come out, staples come out, and it'll heal it a lot faster. It'll also prevent scar tissue from developing. So those hard scar tissue bumps, it will actually prevent that, which is super cool. And I think it really smells yummy, but that's me. Patchouli. This patchouli is quite interesting. It does not smell like dirty hippie.
Sounds like
It does smell like clean hippie, Dan. Totally. I always thought that I patchouli never quite did it for me, but I really like this one. It's quite lovely. So this one is really, really delicate for skin issues. So it's really quite lovely for any kind of skin conditions. It has a general calming effect. So you can put it directly onto your pooch, and it's going to chill them out. Coco is not a big fan of the patchouli. He still thinks it smells like dirty hippie, but it's okay. Oral use beyond regular licking. My dog licks excessively, so it's kind of weird, but he only licks his nose. But if a dog is going to lick you and you have patchouli on, it's not going to harm them. It's just not recommended for oral use and for internal use. But it's not going to harm. So that's cool.
It's still a no on the patchouli.
And it just says topical use and water diffusion only for it. But like I said, like licking, grooming behaviors, you can put it on them topically to chill them out. And the patchouli is also okay for keeping cats. And I have it's This one still hasn't grown on me, I'm sorry, turmeric just smells not nice.
Yeah.
It's just
Kind of
not.
smells
I do
burnt.
love that. Smells what?
Burnt a little.
A little bit, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Burnt.
Burnt
spice,
something.
Yeah, burnt
Burnt
spice or
something,
something.
yeah.
Yeah.
Burnt turmeric.
Or turmeric. Just
Yeah, it just smells burnt.
If you would have smelled Airdrie the other night when that kid burnt down the play structure,
Oh,
it's
no.
Yeah.
Okay, so turmeric has been shown to help with cancer, tumors, and autoimmune disorders in dogs. It also helps relieve arthritis and pain. So it's really, really also good for fungal infections, bacterial infections, and intestinal worms. Anybody here ever dealt with roundworm? So nasty. So 3 drops of this with FCO at an equal rate. No, actually internal, and it'll kill the roundworm. Which is so gross.
She gets it daily.
It's wrong.
It's in the mix, but because it smells so strong, it's in my copaiba mix that I'm very gradually upping it till I get to 10 because I don't think she.
We're already up at, he's up at 6 now.
We're at 5 currently.
Yeah, we're at 6, and we've only been using it. We've only done it twice now.
Yeah. It's just
So turmeric is really helpful with kennel cough and canine influenza. This is like your number 1 or number 2 oil that you want to be using with kennel cough, which is probably good for Lisa because she works at the kennel. It's also good to add with myrrh, and it's good for oral health and insect repellency and pain and swelling from bites and stings. So my beautiful dog that I had here last time, Harper, is allergic to every single thing that bites him out in beyond. So we now carry a little bitty 1 milliliter roller of turmeric to rub all over him, and within 5 seconds, the swelling is gone.
So I've been using yarrow on my daughter because she's allergic to mosquito bites, and so we've been putting yarrow on because she swells and it's terrible.
Yeah,
So we've been using the yarrow palm on that, and that's been working really good. Is that one okay for dogs?
there's nothing in any of my
Okay.
books. That's why I didn't do the yarrow
Okay.
palm today, because I was
Alright.
like, I can't find any information on yarrow.
I don't know
Then
either.
don't.
I would just say, yeah, if you have, if we, yeah, I wouldn't.
Yeah, in the ADR2 book, it says, like, there's a 1-line blurb that says there's not enough information. when it
Okay,
comes to
so just
yarrow.
leave yarrow palm
So
away
just-
from your dog.
Yeah.
Probably just because it's not really an essential oil. I mean, it's the yarrow comes from the flower, but the pomegranate extract and it's a unique product. It's not available anywhere.
Yes.
Which is, it's an incredible product, but just because we don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's cool that turmeric will do that too on the bites.
Yeah. The TerraShield will too with my boy. Like I can put TerraShield on, and if I miss the spot and he gets bit, I can put the TerraShield back onto it, and it decreases. So last year, doTERRA came out with a children's line, and I love the children's line for my dogs because it's a really light
And
diet.
it's a sale right now. 25% off.
Yeah, I need one like that. I need a hole in my head right now, children's. So the steady blend is your grounding blend, and it's really good for anxiety. So in your vehicle anxiety. So this one you can actually just roll right inside the ear tips, and you can roll right on the belly. It's okay for them to lick. It's not gonna hurt them. I've licked it off myself. Absolutely, try it. And it's good for travel. So when you're out in your vehicles and your dog has horrible anxiety in the vehicle,
And it's pre-diluted.
and it's pre-diluted, and it's made for little people, so little dogs are okay with it, and big dogs are okay with it.
What's in it?
Stuff. I have no idea, but it's really fun.
I think you have it on your sheet, don't you? No?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I have no idea because I can't see.
It's really small.
I
I can't remember. how
And
many
it's
there are.
like, yeah, fractionated coconut oil, amaryllis or amaranth. bark oil, balsam fir, coriander, and magnolia.
Oh,
It was really weird because the other night I had my magnolia out and I had some really awful dogs in my house. It was really awful. And they all licked magnolia roller. And about 10 minutes later, everybody was passed out. Like cold. I'm sure it probably isn't very good for use, but
it worked
quieted
that night.
everybody down, so I was okay with it.
Actually, I think it's similar to lavender. So if you think of the chemistry
Yeah.
of magnolia, so very calming. So I don't think it's, yeah.
I love the smell of magnolia. Yeah. I usually use it like every second night.
I use magnolia to help me sleep.
Yeah.
Very calming.
It is very calming. Knocks my dogs out. It's pretty good stuff. So the other one is the Children's Restful Blend. This one I might be able to see a little bit better.
It's got lavender in it.
It does have lavender. So the first one is fractionated coconut oil. Second one is lavender. Third one is Kananga, which I'm pretty sure that's what's coming out this year. Fourth is Buddha oil. I don't know what that is.
Buddha wood.
Or Buddha wood.
A tree.
Aroma chamomile.
Yeah.
And that is all she wrote in the note.
So sweet, floral, and kind of woody.
I really like
An
it.
interesting
It's not
combo.
as
Yeah.
lavendery as serenity.
Yeah, see, I don't like serenity.
I don't either, but it works well.
It does. This one smells nice.
Smells like lavender.
Yeah, this one smells way nicer. And I find that this one actually is quite a bit more potent than the Serenity, depending on how you want to use it. So pretty much the same effects. It's good for separation anxiety and restlessness. Helps calm dogs. Helpful in crate training. So right now I have a brand new puppy in my repertoire, and we're crate training. So today the Restful Blend went on, and I waited for 5 minutes before I left. So I was pretty excited about that. He's a pretty awesome little kid, though. His name is One Nut Norman.
For short.
They call him Jasper for short. But, yeah. I'm like, so what's your dog's name? They're like, One Nut Norman. I'm like, for some reason I thought my brother when I said that. So Breathe comes in a 5 ml, but not for purchase. It comes in a 15 ml, and it comes in this roller. The roller is already pre-diluted, so it's safe to use on your animals as is. I use this straight up on my animals, right from the 15 ml bottle that's not diluted, especially on my super hairy beasts. So what I'll usually do is I'll pop a drop of this into my hands, rub them together, do a little huff myself, feel a little better, give myself 5 seconds, and then I'll give my dogs a complete rub down. And then usually their mommies and daddies say, oh, my dog smells so good. So this one has a super minty feel. There's lots of good stuff in there, but I'm not 100% sure what. This one is also for kennel cough. And it's really good for seasonal allergies.
It's also really good for reverse sneezing, if you have a dog that does that.
See, I was trying to remember what you had said.
Yeah, that and peppermint, they work really well. They make like they're trying to throw up, but they're not trying to throw up. It's called reverse sneezing. I don't know why, but you just rub it. I rub a drop of meat on the Chihuahua's neck because she's got the collapsed trachea, so she does this a lot because her breathing gets restricted. And you just rub, and now she lifts her little chin up. And it's a very strong smell because it's meat, but right away within seconds she stops and she's very happy, and then she smells nice.
Yeah, absolutely. And the reverse sneeze doesn't come out, which is awesome.
No, it doesn't. It's really, really nice when you're doing that.
I dig it. I was trying to remember what the heck you had said, and I was like, oh. So that's pretty much easy air. I don't usually dilute it. I do diffuse that one in my truck quite a bit with my dogs. I do find that it does tend to chill them out too.
And it makes it smell better.
Trust me. You don't want to go in well here. I have a floor mat at the entryway to my house, and it says, "Hope you like dog hair." You know what's gonna happen. It's pretty
She was asking me what my bed smelled like, and I said dog, but I didn't smell dog, so.
Wet dog, not so much, but dry dog is okay sometimes.
Yeah.
So Zengest is going to be your digestive blend. So dogs who have diarrhea, upset stomach, constipation, good boy. I also find this one to be really relaxing for my animals. So I do tend to use this if I run out of oils and this is the only one I have in my truck at the time. I'll actually diffuse this one, and I find that it just kind of takes the truck down to a happy level. So I really dig it for that. Zengest I have found has had some positive effects with coprophagia, so the eating of the poops.
Canned pumpkin will stop that too.
The what?
If they eat canned pumpkin, they stop eating their poop. That's weird.
But does it stop them from eating other people's poop?
No, nothing stops them from eating rabbit poop ever. I'm pretty confident it's Skittles for them.
Oh, yes.
Antioxidants. It's all good.
Super dose. Always with the rabbit poop. Nothing you can do.
So the fennel is what usually makes them stop eating the poop. So you could just technically use fennel if you wanted to for coprophagia. It's really good for car sickness. I actually apply to the ears for car sickness instead of the tummy because then I can smell it. And then I diffuse it also, and helps with vomiting and diarrhea. So you had given, I put your recipe in there, but I use Zengest in combination with slippery elm powder in the food, and usually a little bit of bone broth.
Oh, bone broth is awesome.
Yeah, versus using pumpkin, because I find pumpkin can go one of two ways.
Either they like it or they like. Mine will eat it for a couple of days and then she won't have anything to do with it for a while. She'll only eat it when she's off, or if I'm making pie, then she wants some because then she's people.
That's so funny. She wants pie.
She wants everything.
Yeah, so I really like the Zengest with the slippery elm powder. I actually put 1 drop into about a teaspoon of slippery elm powder, and then I mix it in with bone broth.
Where do you get the slippery elm powder?
So over by you, go to Tailblazers on 14th
Okay,
Street.
I know that one.
Go see Marlene. Marlene's a rock star. Terra Shield, I kind of live on this stuff right now because not only does it repel bugs, but it also repels negative everything, which is really awesome. Yeah. So if you are an empath, or which most people who deal with animals or have animals are empaths, it's going to be your favorite right there.
They're right there.
I put it right.
Yes.
Everywhere is also
So it is my everywhere, always.
You put it on and you just feel a light and you're just like, oh, okay, I can breathe now. All the energy is not pushing on me anymore.
From a human standpoint too, it's also, it kills migraines.
Oh,
Like dead in its spot, yeah.
How do you use it for that?
I take it internally,
Okay.
not this one.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah. It's not super awesome to take internally because you get the burps and then it kind of
Like in a capsule?
Yeah, in a capsule.
Just the drops.
Three drops in a veggie cap, and it'll take away migraine within about 20 minutes.
This girl knows what migraines.
Interesting.
Like of all the people in the world, there doesn't seem to be anything that's a cure-all.
It's really, it sucks that nothing worked when we were down in
down
south.
I remember that. That was the hardest week.
That was awful. Anyways,
Elevation.
so Terra Shield is your bug repellent. It comes in a 15 ml also, along with this one. This one is pre-diluted in FCO. This one is perfectly safe to use as is on your animals, which is so awesome. I love the fact that it's like straight out of the bottle. I go and pick up Harper, my Vishala, and he gets off the couch right away. He comes and he sits in front of me, and I put a couple drops in the hand, and I'm giving him this little massage. 12 drops will do his whole body. I've been using the same bottle for a month now, and I think I'm only halfway through. And he's 70 pounds. So a little bit goes a long way. The bugs haven't touched them.
I also like to put it directly on their halter, or like put a full drop directly on the halter on the under part because mine's so fluffy. And she's low to the
Yeah.
ground, so to kind of keep anything from wanting to attach to her, make her very stinky.
Absolutely. Yeah. And ticks don't like it, lice doesn't like it, fleas don't like it. The fleas will actually jump away from the terra shield. They do not like the smell of it. I'm not entirely sure what's in it that they don't like the smell of, because I am not in the mind of a bug today. And ask me next week, and I might be able to tell you. Come here, sit. Come here, sit. Have a good day. Sit. On your bottom. Okay. High five. So 2 drops will actually do about 85% of Coco's body because he's so little.
Not impressed.
Okay. Oh, and with 2 drops, that's all it takes for a 10-pound dog.
But you go out for how long? When you go out for your walk?
It's an hour and a half per, twice a day. So
And that lasts all day?
no, you got to reapply for dogs that come with me all day. They get reapplication because it just about 4 hours is kind of where I get to with it, and then after that I can start to feel the grubblies creeping up on those. They start biting. Good for horses too.
Oh, it's great for horses. The
Yeah.
horse loves it.
Yeah.
Flies away? Hey,
Flies,
Rakell.
mosquitoes, everything.
Rakell,
Awesome.
Yeah.
what would you recommend for fleas? Have somebody asking.
For fleas, the terra shield for sure. So my next page, I actually made. Did I put the?
You have your outdoor blend.
So you can make the outdoor blend and then add Castile soap, and you can do a flea shampoo with it. So you can switch it up and do the flea shampoo. Fleas, we don't have a lot of fleas in California. We do in South California, but not in North California because we're lucky up here. So fleas, lemongrass, they don't like lemongrass. They don't like the terra shield. They don't like the arbor vitae, and they don't like the tea tree oil. So those are the 4 that I would probably recommend. And you can go a little bit heavier on the arbor vitae versus the tea tree for fleas and for ticks.
Yeah, for my sister-in-law, they're moving back to BC, and of course there's lots of fleas there. And so I told her for fleas, just take a drop of arbor vitae and a drop of terra shield and put it directly on its back where you would put the flea medicine, and just leave it and do that every once a week or something.
Well, that's good to know.
Because they can't lick it there,
Absolutely.
and it's where you put the flea medication on dogs anyway, the stuff you get from the vets.
Yeah.
And it's non-toxic, and you can put it on every day, and it's not going to hurt the dog.
Absolutely.
And they'll smell really good.
That's
Yeah.
divine.
Chocolate.
So just on the next page, I put a couple of different recipes on there for you. My friend Len here, she has some great little recipes to help your animals, so I really like them. The upset tummy is a little different from mine. She uses goat milk. I use bone broth. I don't like pumpkin because I find that it can go kind of either way with not working or having diarrhea. So it's kind of a delicate balance with the.
It can be like liquid goat milk too, like if you want to be fancy and buy a bottle of goat
It's expensive.
milk. I know, that's why, and it goes bad really fast and they never drink it all. So that's why I have the powdered, but if you want to buy regular goat's milk, they'll love it. Like, holy crap, they love goat's milk.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
So you would just do the Zen,
Is that just?
yes, and the bone broth?
Yeah.
You would mix all 4 together, just those.
I would probably do something along the line. If it was diarrhea, I would do Zengest directly on the tummy, and then I would do bone broth and slippery elm. Slippery elm comes in a powder. It's good stuff. It's kind of one of my go-tos. It's always in the house. Pretty sure I had a case of it. Yeah, and I like the bone broth versus the pumpkin puree. So, it kind of does the same thing, but and then the anti-inflammatories. So your dog is on the anti-inflammatory
For like 3 years. No, how long have we had Copaiba? For that long.
2 years.
Yeah, for that long.
Okay.
So,
So he's only been on it for 3 months.
yeah. Well, my mom's Chihuahua, she had knee surgery because she was raised with a Malamute that played with her and dislocated her knee several times. And so they had to, surgically reattach it. And so she has arthritis. She's only like 5, but anytime it gets below -20, she tripods because it hurts so much, right? And so when the Copaiba came out, I'd been doing frankincense on her leg externally. When the Copaiba came out, I made this mix up and started putting it in her food. And last February was, horrific. And she didn't tripod once.
Sweet.
And it was like -30 for most of February. And she's good. And she has a tripod.
Nice.
So yeah, just
Yeah,
on
it
her food
works.
twice a day. It's incredible what it does.
I just started with just using before I knew your little jazzy thing. I was just putting 1 drop of turmeric on his food, and it was helping. So
Yeah.
it doesn't take away his crazy, but we love his crazy.
Yeah, and if your dog's bigger, you can make it stronger or use a bigger bottle, so that they can have more drops. And if your dog's smaller, then cut the number of oils in it down, or use only like 1 or 2 drops on it. Absolutely.
And then the outdoor blend is my own special outdoor blend. I've kind of had to tweak it a few times. I used to make it with water, and then I found that it wasn't, it was only effective for about 20 minutes with the water. So once I took the water out and replaced the water with the fractionated coconut oil, it worked way better because now it's got staying powder on the skin and on the fur. So, and then the last page is just where I got the information from, just so you know. The only other thing that I wanted to mention that's been kind of a godsend to me for the last couple of months with my boys is IQ Omega, which is the omega-3 for children. He's been getting it in his food for the last couple of months because I was starting to find that every time I took him to the vet that there was something going on with his heart or his liver. The last time we did a liver enzyme check, which was 3 weeks ago, his liver enzymes were 100%.
Okay, so that's good for the heart too.
Yeah.
So you could do the Copaiba stuff in that, and then give it, instead of the FCO, dilute it with the IQ Omega, and then you're getting it all.
Yeah, brilliant.
That's so smart. That's so smart. So Coco only gets a teaspoon of this every day. That's it.
Nice.
That's all he needs. So somebody like Lily or Sophia would get a tablespoon, maybe? No, I would probably get a tablespoon. It's pretty strong stuff. So even though it's the children's blend, because at first I had tried using the omegas from the LLB pack, and then I was told no, don't do that. Because I had a conversation with Dr. Rourke, and she was like, yeah, no, it's too strong. It's too strong for them.
Yeah, I have heard to use this on the dogs, that it really helps.
So I find that this has even changed the way that Coco's coat is, and his skin is nicer.
I find that with the Copaiba too.
And I found that his scratching is a little bit less over the last couple weeks now. I don't know if you noticed that at all.
So his skin is.
I put in there some Correct-X. I just thought
and then
Correct-X is handy.
the Correct-X is really handy too. So this one is also dog safe, and it's kind of like polysporin. I don't really recommend that it get licked off, but it's really good for wounds and sores. They can lick it off. It's not going to kill them because it's a pretty small dose of everything that's in it. It has helichrysum, frankincense, tea tree oil. Oh, this is really small writing. Cedarwood, and lavender, and that's it.
Yeah, and it's very diluted, I think, in a whole lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's
It goes on really nice. It heals owies really fast. I find that with puncture wounds, that it'll actually clean out a puncture wound super fast. Coco got bit by one of the dogs that was boarding with me last Wednesday, and I used this and then just straight lavender on his bum because that's where I have my holes, and he's all better. There's no marks on him, so we're quite happy with that. And that's my spiel for today. That's awesome.
Thank you. Raquel, what was roundworms again? That was the.
Sorry, what was
Was it turmeric that was for roundworms?
Yes. Any kind of parasite, internal parasite. I still recommend that they go to the vet. Like, vet care is really important, but sometimes the dewormer by itself can be really harsh. So using the turmeric with a little bit of SCO or even solid oil would be a good choice.
Yeah, they like the solid coconut oil too.
Yes. Especially if their dog's on raw.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Cool. Okay, well, we'll say goodbye to our friends online.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us. And thank you,
Oh,
Raquel.